Hi, everyone. This is Lowell again with another thought about one of the benefits of studying music and taking music lessons, and that is the understanding of the subject of conflict and resolution. So, when you talk about conflict resolution in music, there are other musical terms that describe that, which is dissonance and homophony. Um, and dissonance is different in different environments. Like in some situations, dissonance, um, something that sounds terse or dissonant in one setting musically, in another setting sounds entirely consonant to our ears. And so it's all about the kind of world or the framework that you create, that you write or create music within, that sets the context for what is dissonant and what is consonant. But in life, we have basically we have people with various ideas, and every time you have more than one person in a room, more than one person with ideas, musically or otherwise, you're going to have disagreements. And so, how do you solve those disagreements? And music is kind of a template or a simulation of how you can apply conflict resolution in real life. I remember sitting down at the piano and improvising, and sometimes I didn't know exactly what notes I was going to play, and I would create a clash on the keyboard. And a lot of people would say, "Oh, that's a mistake," but it's not a mistake if you resolve it properly. So if you find where the notes are clashing and then you resolve it, then that becomes art. That becomes music making. And so all of music is filled with conflict resolution sequences. And one of my favorite composers, J.S. Bach, intentionally created what we call strong lines. And so each melody, whether it be in the soprano, the alto, the tenor, or the bass, in a choir, in the Bach chorales, you can see it when he writes in chorales a lot. That each line has its own strong personality. It's not just the top line that everybody accompanies with harmony. Like a lot of times in pop culture, we have, a guy that's singing and then accompanying himself with a guitar. Well, Bach's concept of music was a little bit different than that, is that each person had their own melody. In other words, you had four melodies happening at the same time. And he liked what he called or what we call strong lines. And the strong lines for each melody means that sometimes one melody will be going up while another melody is going down, or another melody is going down while another melody is going up. And so they end up clashing against each other. And so, how you resolve those dissonances, there are whole treaties written about it called species counterpoint. And so, the word counterpoint is point against point, or punctus contra punctus in the Latin. And so, you have these parts of the melody that would clash, and then there were rules in counterpoint that in terms of how you resolve those conflicts. And so you had in a Bach chorale, you have four parts that are doing that constantly and hitting each other and resolving, hitting each other and resolving. And that's what makes the music interesting. It's what gives it texture, and it's a little bit like I liken it to a drama, where you have all these different characters. Each character is strong in their own personality. And what makes a good drama is not when everything is peaceful all the time and homophony from a homophonic standpoint, but a good drama has conflict, and then you have resolution at the end. And we all like peace, and we all like a sense of home base and a sense of resolution musically, and in life. We like to know that things are peaceful, but we also know that in life, that in order to get to peace, you have to go through the process of conflict resolution. So you want both. Of course, I like ending pieces of music with a nice harmonic ending, a nice homophonic ending. But the same in relationships. So, like I said a minute ago, music is a simulation of how relationships can work. And so, if you learn how to successfully have conflict resolution in music, then it's a template for how you can appreciate the journey of each person in their own uniqueness, and also find common ground and find out how we can end peacefully and end in harmony.